Where are all my Joe Rogan fans? Let's chat about some true firsts. See, I have to start it like that because we're talking about Conan the Barbarian, a character that I didn't expect to be talking about at the start of 2019, but we have mentioned Conan the Barbarian on multiple videos at the start of the year already. I've already made a video on the review of Jason Aaron's Conan #1, and it was fantastic.
People are really, really loving this new Jason Aaron run. We know that Savage Sword of Conan is starting next month, and in March, we're having a 5-issue miniseries of Belit, who is Conan's female compatriot, and sometimes on again, off again person who they do lovely things together.
Yeah, she's definitely a fan of Conan. You know who else is a fan of Conan? Joe Rogan. Huge Frazetta fan and Conan the Barbarian fan.
How can you not be?
Kind of how I got into Conan, which feels super lame. I was never really a Conan fan until I've been listening to Joe Rogan for a long time. If you're a fan of Joe Rogan, I want to know, put your answers in the comment section below. I don't miss out on any JRE. But right now we're talking about Conan. Why? Well, we're doing a true first video. Shout out to comicbookinvest.com for putting out so many really cool pieces of content for us and the community to engage with, to talk about, to make videos on, and to read. All right. And we're talking about Conan because we got an announcement in December that we were going to see Conan enter the Marvel Earth 616.
Very cool.
All right. We have confirmation that we're going to see Conan join the Avengers, at least into the MCU in March's No Road Home issue #6. We're going to see Scarlet Witch go back in time, and we're going to see Conan enter. This is interesting. You mentioned a number of issues of Conan that have already come out. We have new series starring.
Right.
We have him crossing over. And you know what? We have a speculation market that have been spotting Conan keys over this last year and been picking them up aggressively.
Right.
We have the first appearance of Red Sonja. Almost called her Red Sarah. Red Sonja. We have the first appearance of Conan. We have so many issues of Conan that are spiking. All right. And right now we have a number of potential villains that may, grace these series that I think we should chat about. But notice that in this list that Topher covers, he actually puts odds as far as his speculation on whether it's going to make an impact in the MCU. What do you think about this?
I actually like this, especially since we know that there are basically 4 main villains that could be showing up. And who we actually think is going to come to fruition earlier is great. And I like this list. This is good.
Now, he's put on his list a number. I mean, it exceeds the ones that we're about to cover. But I actually put in here just a few that I think are pretty interesting and the ones that are kind of on the higher end. And then some that I just personally like.
Well, yeah.
All right. And I want to know from the comic fam as well what they think about these odds. Because maybe if we like it and the comic fam likes it, he'll continue to put these like what he thinks a little bit as far as, out in writing, if these have some staying power. Coming in at an odds of 2-1. This is the favorable villain, the ones that people are betting on. We have Tulsa Doom as the potential person that may be making the MCU appearance.
Now, I really do like this guy. Dynamite recently released some stuff with him, and they've been doing a lot of comics for him. He was originally in Kull the Conqueror. He was a Kull villain, and I know that a lot of times Kull and Conan are kind of like separate lanes, so it's nice to see a villain jump from one to the other. It's a good one. I think we could add a lot of interesting storylines because there's just a lot of backstory because he's been around since the mid-70s.
Look out for his first appearance in Monsters on the Prowl, issue #16. And then you also, I'm glad you mentioned the Kull because he makes his first cover appearance on Kull the Conqueror, issue #3. All right. Then we have Thoth Amon.
Conan the Barbarian #7, first appearance of Thoth Amon. And I think this is a 5-1 variant. He's a pretty solid one. He's one.
It's creepy. Do you remember that fight scene with him and Arnold Schwarzenegger? He's like that lizard guy.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
The wizard,
and
lizard
this is more akin to Batman and Joker. You have the ones where they exist in the universe, and he may not be there all the time, but he's definitely this ever present. And I think this is the one. Tulsa Doom is definitely, but he kind of does his own thing. Whereas Thoth Amon is definitely one that I think that
He can be
Conan,
almost thrown in there.
they have to be running, and he could just show up and be like, hey man, peace, I'm out. And he would still make sense in there because you know he's going to be dealing with Conan eventually.
Maybe like a lizard type of appearance. They may do a rendition of him, but look out for him here. He puts him on as like a 5-1, so maybe. But let's move on to Dagoth the Dreaming God. This character is on the list as possible 10-1 odds here. Not likely, but as a servant of Shumagorath.
Shumagorath. And I don't know
Shumagorath,
why I
right?
know that or where Shumagorath actually came from. It's a mythology thing, isn't
The
it?
reason why it like rings a bell is because you're up on your Doctor Strange. And that's
Must be.
right?
Must be.
We have his first appearance in Marvel Premiere issue number 7, which is a Doctor Strange.
It is a
crossover.
Doctor Strange. Yeah.
Yes. So we do have a formidable enemy and one that has ties to Doctor Strange. Thus, a character that has pretty good odds for possibly gracing other comic books.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my God. I just saw a picture of Shumagorath and I'm like, oh no, I totally know what that character is. Oh my God.
You know
Yeah.
that now?
That
pretty good.
dribbling bit of my brain out of my ear.
You had to do it.
Wow.
Right?
No, it's cool because Shumagorath's first appearance is Marvel Premiere 5, and then we have Dagoth the Dreaming God as Marvel Dreaming 7. So yes, this is all very well tied into Doctor Strange, and because there's probably going to be a Doctor Strange sequel at some point in time, and everything that's happening in the MCU, yeah, this is a great tie-in opportunity for someone like this, even at long odds.
Now, before we end the list, now this right here, this is a 1 out of 100. This is not going to spike. This is just an issue that I have to bring up. We have Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 5, first appearance of Salome. Cool villain, but I really like this cover. This is the Conan cover where he's okay. What does this remind you of, Russ?
X-Men 251.
Right?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It does, yeah.
It reminds me of that issue. I really like that Wolverine issue, and that has like pushed me to really like this issue. And this is a book that's actually pretty scarce. There's only a handful of them listed on eBay, and they're all at auction, and they all have pretty high bids.
The Savage Sword of Conan number 5, yeah, it was one of those oversized like magazine type things, and it just wasn't printed very well, and it wasn't taken very well care of because people didn't have bags and boards that size.
That's right. It's a Boris cover, and it's fantastic. And there's a handful of Boris covers that are awesome in that run. Very, very cool, and ones that I think are way underrated. And as Conan gets more love, we're going to see more people wanting to collect these books.
I believe very, very strongly. Now, we know that Vampirella is tied in so strongly to the Frank Frazetta universe, and Frank Frazetta did a lot
You
of...
see these, like, it's all connecting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now you've got the Conan, and if the Conan covers, you're going to have the ones that are done by Boris Vallejo are really, really going to be more desirable now. More people. There's always these diehards who've been collecting those for a while, but now as Conan ends up doing more in the 616, I think we're going to have more people searching for those Boris covers.
All right, I have a really fun gem here. This isn't a comic book, so I'm going to start that out right out the gate here. If you're looking to collect books, if you're looking to speculate comic books, this next one may not be for you, but we're going to mention it because I think it's cool as hell. We have Avengers Weekly, issue number 96. It's a 1975 release. Why is this interesting? Well, for the first time ever, we see Conan not just on the cover, but with the Avengers in one shot for the first time.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a key moment. That's really cool. And it's not in like, continuity. It's not in a story. This is not a comic book, but you know what? This is a key moment. And I think to a Conan collector, to a fan, or even an Avengers fan, this is something that you may want to keep an eye out for on the hunt.
Right.
Now, we also have other issues of Conan starting to spike that I wanted to bring up as well.
The ones that I'm seeing spiking right now are What If 13 and What If 43, actually. And 13 is what if he was stranded on Earth today. And at the end of that one, it's really interesting because Captain America actually asks him to join the Avengers, but it doesn't happen. And then 43 is what if he was stranded on Earth today. And that's a really classic one with him and a gun.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, another one that's also spiking is What If issue number 39. This is a fantastic cover and one that I've been collecting for quite a long time. Now, I'm not collecting it because of Conan. I'm not collecting it because of Thor. I'm collecting it because of Mr. Mike Mignola. He did the cover work on this. This is actually Mignola's first Marvel work. And he told me this in person as he was signing my copy. He was laughing about it because not a whole lot of people bring this book to have him sign.
Mm-hmm.
And he mentioned that he actually had to hand deliver the original artwork back when this was released in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he left it on the scanner at Marvel. And to this day, does not know where the original ended up. So I'm like, oh man. So now I know in the back, I'm like, you just made a grail for me. Like,
Right.
Thanks, Mignola. I appreciate you.
I totally need to find the art for that one. That is fantastic.
All right. Shout out to comicbookinvest.com. Thank you so much to CBSI for putting together so many awesome true firsts. And before we end the video, let's give a shout out to some members in the community who are having some very successful hunts.
Great searching this week. We had Mad Marvel Mike, who picked up Avengers 71. And look at this awesome panel showing Endgame, name of the next Avengers movie.
Ooh, very exciting stuff. We also have James Hardy 999 picking up 5 copies of Web of Spider-Man number 90. And I have to just throw this out there. He's picking that up because he's excited that the poster's in there. And he knows, because he watches our videos, that is not the true first. That is not the official first. It's a book that he likes, and he found 5 copies at a deal, and he bought them because he wanted to collect them.
It's a super good one. Now, this one is really, really tough. I have never found one of these out in the wild. Comic Book Cook found a second print of Spidey 2099, the ultra rare white cover. Now, number 1 has that gorgeous red foil cover, but yes, the second print one was done a while afterwards, and they are tough to find. Great hunting there.
That's awesome. I've never seen one in person.
No,
it's a weird, rare, and we never brought it up. I completely spaced on that. As soon as he posted it, I'm like, I've seen that before, like on eBay. You know, I've seen those selling for pretty high amounts. I've seen them posted, but it just didn't click. I really do appreciate the tag Comic Book Cook. Please make sure to tag us on Instagram. We like seeing your hunting success stories.
And since we didn't do one last week, here are some more honorable mentions for people who found stuff last week. We have the Infinity Store, who found 2 copies of Avengers 48, that early Black Knight appearance.
And we have Emperor's Collectible, who scored a bunch of stuff at an antique mall. He got the 1991 annual report, and I have to give him kudos for posting a picture of that Spidey 2099 appearance. That's actually the best picture of that shot that I have been able to find on the internet. Thank you for providing it to the comic book community.
We have Dean Badonza that contacted us, and he had a Web of 90, a graded Ghost Spider, Deadly Class, and lots of other great finds. Check out that photo.
Then we have Agu Ramos picking up that. He picked up a lot of cool stuff, but I got to give him a shout out for that Goro number 1. I mentioned that being one of my early pickups when I was really little. And yeah, we have some people who are like, hell yeah, Mortal Kombat. So shout out to him. Shout out Mr. Gigi. And yeah, I love me some Mortal Kombat. So it's cool seeing that.
Very, very cool. Well, you know, this has been a great week. This has been a ton of fun. I hope you like True First. Thank you so much to CBSI and Topher over there for getting us such a great list. And as always, geek responsibly.
Enough said. Steam Cave, thank you so much for participating. You won last week's giveaway. Hit the description to find out how to contact us so we can get this comic book out to you. And if you like this True First video, you can take a look at this playlist right here. I put all of our True First videos together for a convenient viewing. Thank you, comic fam. Have a great day.